I don't know what to say, really.
Your seventh pick gives you what? A running back with a rap sheet?
You don't know who I'm picking, Seven, Tom. I'm not going to sell the farm for one guy.
Well, you should. Your farm sucks.
I know football. What you did with those boys. You were the right man for the job, coach.
You're Hall of Fame in my book.
Now, let's analyze what's been working for us. Not a goddamn thing's been working for us. Like this goddamn suit doesn't work for me. And this stinking tie, and this goddamn shirt, it doesn't work for me!
Fucking Roethlisberger, the quarterback, was all fucking hug it, chug it, football. All night.
I'll tell you why you don't have your $10 million yet. Right now, you are a paycheck player. You play with your head, not your heart. In your personal life, heart. But when you get on the field, it's all about what you didn't get, who's to blame, who underthrew the pass, who's got the contract you don't, who's not giving you your love. You know what? That is not what inspires people.
This is your opportunity
For
here.
you. Playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime. But I don't want your life.
I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that itch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face.
I have the golden ticket, Sonny. If I give it to you, you get to say football in Cleveland.
I'll see you in L.A.
No heart. No heart? I'm all heart, motherfucker! You talk.
Yeah!
Give me 2.
Michael Govier here Sunday morning, 11:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Mike Virginia up in here. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? We're ready for week 2 of the NFL season. You guys feel good about your matchup today?
Oh, I got too many matchups now. You know, I've got 10 teams, I think.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about the Lions.
Oh, you know, it's funny. Okay, so let me lay it out for you. Good morning, everybody. Anthony's here. Govier and Mike VA is all heart. That's right.
True.
Anthony, how you doing, brother? Big Memphis win yesterday. That was nice. Not only they covered, they flat out won. That was fun.
I had action in that game. I had Memphis.
Nice. You're a smart man. Hey, boys, hit the 5-way Tampa Bay parlay. So I'm with you today. Already? Wait, is that the Tom Brady parlay?
I don't know.
Let us know, Joe. Hook us up with more info on that. But here's what I was doing, Mike. I woke up at 7:30, drove over to America so I could do all this stuff to get like entered into DFS contests because I can't do it here. So I have to go back over to downtown Detroit, which is like 15 minutes away. It's not far. But I got to go through the border to do that. I'm doing all these DFS lineups to set up and then all my bets and getting that done. I posted the betting guide for this week on the Patreon, which is, total bases parlay. Okay.
All right.
That's fun.
Well, it sounds like you've been a busy man.
I already have today, yeah. So I'm locked in on the info. I did all 10 1 p.m. games for the Patreon betting guide, so I'm locked in on that from that perspective and the start sits and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's been a busy, busy morning. And then I hauled ass to get back here in time for the show, which it always seems like I'm running into the show without having a moment of breath, but wouldn't have it any other way, my friend.
Right, breathe, buddy, breathe.
Just breathe. Faith Hill, love it. Yeah. So, how you feeling this morning, Mike? What's the word? Baltimore gonna crush the Raiders?
I do. I think there'll be a bounce back game, and I think Mark Andrews actually plays better than Isaiah Likely. So,
oh boy, here we go.
All the day. Hey, real quick. Playing football at West Canaan may have been an opportunity of a lifetime for you, but I don't want your life.
Fair, very fair. I can't argue that. I won't argue it because it's true.
I love that bit in the intro. It's one of my favorite football movies.
I'm not arguing that with you.
Oh, man. Well, we all want to fit in, right?
Because I want to fit in.
Yeah, I feel like it's funny, actually. Patrick Bateman, played by Christian Bale there from American Psycho. His brother was played by James Vanderbeek, who played I Don't Want Your Life in a movie called Rules of Attraction, which he was called Sean Bateman. Now, you never see Patrick Bateman in that movie, but it's from the same world. Interesting little tidbit, fun there.
There you go.
What? Joe hit a 6-way touchdown one last week. Woo!
I got a couple
I love
parlays
rumors.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I got some.
You wanna save it? You wanna hold off?
I want to give one for the people. Let me pull up my DraftKings account here.
All right.
So it's worth noting I hit big in week 1, so I already cashed out like $779 in week 1. So I've been playing with house money. I did hit big yesterday, and when I say big, like two, I don't know how much money I have out here. I have 19 player prop parlays out today. Just trying to hit one more big one. 19. I'm just throwing shit out there, and hopefully one sticks. And they're all small little samples, but I'm going to give you guys one here today. And I still have
6-way one he had, by the way, was Monty in overtime to hit that 6-way last week. So that's fun. Nice job, Joe.
Love that. All right, here we go. Ready for this one?
Hit me.
This is a $10 4-leg parlay that pays out $112.25. All right. I got CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Derrick Henry, and Jonathan Taylor all to score a touchdown today. Anytime touchdown scores. So you got CD going up against the Saints. You got Amon-Ra, who, again, the Bucs will try to focus on the run. I think he has a bounce-back game this week.
Yep, shit game last week.
Yep. Derrick Henry, I think, is a lock anytime the Ravens are playing anybody, but especially the Raiders in Baltimore today. So I think Derrick Henry's a lock to score. And then Jonathan Taylor today as well. So if you guys are tailing, make sure you guys let us know in the live chat here. But again, that is a plus 1022. $10 pays out 112. So ride with me, baby.
Locked in for all eternity. Oops is here. Hey, what's up? Oops. Good to have you back, man. I thought maybe we had a falling out after our week 1 preview show and our disagreement about Anthony Richardson, who takes on the Packers today on the road, which I'm very much looking forward to. A lot of people are trying to talk me out of it, but the Packers have Malik Willis starting today. Is anybody starting Malik Willis in fantasy football today? Anybody? Any desperate super flexers out there? Maybe there are for Superflex.
I was gonna say, but it's probably the only, unless you're playing in a really, really deep league and you had two as like you've played like a 24 team league or something like that. I could see that happening. But yeah, Tua being out obviously sucks. What do you think that does for guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? I think Achan's value probably is still pretty strong there. I think they probably lean maybe a little bit more on the run. But what does that do for Hill and Waddle? Are you panicked at all?
Well, the deal here, it's got to be Skylar Thompson now for the moment, who played well in a playoff game a couple years ago at Buffalo. They played him tight on the road. He was serviceable. He was quite good, actually, in that game. And he showed flashes, and he's been in the system for a few years. So there could be a trust factor here that still makes a guy like Tyreek, who you just throw it up to and he outruns everybody, right? You don't worry about Tyreek as much, I feel like. Jalen, I'll be a little bit more concerned. And I wonder if Miami tries to go to a bit more of a run-heavy approach because they have backs, when healthy, of course. Mostert and a Chain and Jeff Wilson and even Jalen Wright. So they got a stable of backs. Maybe they reformat a bit, but it definitely is a minor hit. I still think Tyreek's tops, but I'm concerned about Waddle now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do at the quarterback position too, because I also saw rumblings maybe like Ryan Tannehill comes back to Miami, and they're going to see obviously how Skylar Thompson plays, et cetera, et cetera. So, man, I'm not sure how I feel about any of these guys. I definitely don't feel good about it. I can say that. Even if you have Tyreek, and I agree with you, I do think that his values probably maybe takes a small step back, but not much. But I don't feel good about it. So if you have Tyreek Hill, obviously you're not panicking, but at the same time too, obviously losing Tua, who I don't know, do you think? I don't want to get off of too much of a tangent here because this is the Week 2 waiver wire show Q&A. But do you think Tua is a guy that needs to possibly retire because of all the concussions that they had? Is it a turning of the page here in Miami?
It is. It's there. He won't retire though. He's gonna come back and give it one more run. It's just how these people are. They cannot help themselves. Poor Tua. He's a competitor. And it's not just about money either. He just doesn't want to quit the game. But we'll see what he goes on the IR at least for 4 weeks, 4 games. Maybe it'll be longer. Who knows? But it's messed up. And I am saying now, everybody, add Skylar Thompson. Tom Brady's not coming back. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I mean,
Wait a minute. Is that being rumored that he's going to come back? And play for him? Holy shit!
Well, prior to the preseason, Tom Brady said that I still feel I could play. He didn't deny that he would think about a comeback. He didn't say Miami, but remember, Miami got busted for tampering with him a couple of years ago too. Plus, Tom Brady went to Michigan. Stephen Ross is the owner of the Dolphins. He's a Michigan alum who's worth billions of dollars. I'm just saying there's some interesting connections here. If they feel like they can get Tom Brady, who shit the bed in week 1 with his announcing gig, maybe he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go do what I do best. I'm going to throw Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. This offense is awesome. I'm the missing link. I don't know that he's got to take on his Pats in division. I don't know.
I'm gonna hurl myself off a cliff if that happens. All right, lock that in. Lock that in. I'm doing it.
Oh, come on. All right, so what do we got? Mako J37 in the house. What's the word here, Mike?
He wants to know at a flex full PPR, Jordan Mason, Jaden Reed, or Jameson Williams. I think this is a lock, Jordan Mason for me. I know it's PPR and Jaden Reed obviously has Malik Willis at the helm. Jameson Williams is a little hobbled. He is expected to go today, but I don't know how you sit Jordan Mason after last week's performance. I know they have, who do the 49ers have today? Sorry.
Oh, they're playing Minnesota. I'm locked in here. I know everything you need to know. On middle of the road against Minnesota. I like Minnesota plus 4.5.
Do you?
I do.
Oh,
I'm basing a lot of that off last year, though. Last year, remember that game on Monday night where the 49ers lost to Kirk Cousins in Minnesota on the road there? It was more of a slog. I like the under and I like Minnesota. I'll probably get burned, but this is week 2. Just go crazy. It doesn't matter. You have no idea what's going to happen this week.
I don't know why I thought San Francisco was playing Cincinnati for some reason. Don't ask me why. But
Bengals Chiefs, huge game at 4 o'clock window.
Yeah, Chiefs, hammer. Chiefs are going to win that one by a landslide.
Taking the Bengals plus 6. Here I go again. I am, man. We got to go backwards to go forwards, my friend. Week 1, yes, it looked like shit. It's a classic look ahead. It still happens in the NFL. They're looking ahead to week 2. They lose the Patriots at home. But the Joe Burrow wrist thing, which we've covered ad nauseum on the show, Mike, is real. And I am concerned about that. Very much so. No T. Higgins again probably today either.
No, he's going to be out. So if you have T. Higgins, get him out of there. The whole thing with Jamar Chase, too, like the whole thing going on with him and like he's not having contract negotiations during in-season. So you know that he's probably a little ticked off. Like, I don't know, man. Like I'm reading the tea leaves. I just think there's this dark cloud over Cincinnati happening right now. That's what I'm rolling with. That's my narrative all season long. I'm sticking to it. But
okay, all right.
Do you agree with me on this one here? Are you going with Jordan Mason over these other two guys?
So Jameson's going to play. I mean, we're about to hit the 11:30 window here, so the NFL inactives will come pouring in. Jameson was questionable. In fact, Jameson and Jaden Reed were both on today's cover graphic because they're questionable coming in. Jaden Reed has a chest issue. Jameson has ankle. Yeah, I'm not worried about that, I guess. I'm going to go. Jordan Mason's the safest bet because he's locked into a position here right now, and he's not hurt, as we know. So I guess, yeah, why not? Mason's a guy today, and Malik Willis is thrown to Jaden Reed, which is hell on earth. Oh, shit, wait. I got Oops responded here. I got to go to Oops real quick. Oh, Oops said, you really think I was mad about you liking AR-5? Well, he's 5 now. He's no longer AR-15, but whatever. Who cares? I'm not impressed so far, but maybe he will get better. Okay, Oops. I apologize. You're right. I got up in my feelings. I'm glad you're here, and I will just move forward and let you know that Anthony Richardson, though inconsistent, is excellent for a rushing floor. When it comes to fantasy, he will score 2 rushing touchdowns today. Everybody lock it in.
I also have part of one of my 19-player props today. I think that he has...
Score a touchdown?
Anytime touchdown, yeah, absolutely. Anytime they get inside the red zone, he's almost a lock. Oops, I know I wasn't here last week 1 show, and I'm not ganging up on you or anything else like that, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts, and that's why I'm posing this question to you. Even if in real life we don't think Anthony Richardson is a quote-unquote great quarterback, wouldn't you agree that he has a safe floor simply because of the fact of his legs, his rushing ability to score touchdowns, et cetera, et cetera? So even that, doesn't that make him a safe floor quarterback, very much similar to a guy like Lamar, guy like Kyler Murray, guy like Jaden Daniels, anybody, Jalen Hurts, like those guys all have safe floors because you want guys who are able to rush the ball. It's just added value versus a quarterback who doesn't. Say somebody like Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? You're only going to get the passing yards as well as the touchdowns. But with running quarterbacks, you get their passing and rushing yards, plus rushing touchdowns and passing touchdowns. So the floor is there for Anthony Richardson. I think he's locked in as a top 5 quarterback rest of the season. That's just my personal opinion.
Booyah. The Enactors are slowly coming out. It's 11:31 a.m. Eastern Time, live here on the Plateau Podcast.
Utah.
2 L's, 2 Z's. Make sure
Give me two.
subscribe, everybody. Like the video. Please, it makes a big difference. Newcomers here, we'll answer your questions. I think Pete had a thing about Blake Corum real quick, like hold Blake Corum. I'm saying, hold for another week or two, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody, I think it was Frank who tweeted this out. I can't remember who it was. So if I'm botching it, I apologize. Somebody tweeted out and said, if you drafted Blake Corum and you are exactly, and you're looking to drop him after week 1, you didn't understand the reason behind drafting him in the first place, which I thought was a very, very clever tweet. For me, it's a hold, right? I know a lot of people were freaking out. That is a gigantic ass water puddle, by the way.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen this yet, dude. Welcome to the future.
That thing is like a fucking missile, man.
It is. It's a 50 cal shell. It's huge. Leanne got it for me last Saturday. It's a gallon of water, and when you have it fully loaded, it weighs like 20 pounds for real. It's great.
Are you preparing for an apocalypse? Like, hold that up like you're drinking out of it again. That thing looks like you're getting hit in the head with a myth. That needs to be on the graphic below next to Eli or something.
Yeah, I'll add to the program.
Pistol. I know there's a lot of hoopla with Kyron being a punt returner or a kickoff returner, whatever they labeled him as, and that Blake Corum would have value. I think in this offense, you definitely want to hold Blake Corum as a handcuff. We know he didn't see much work last week. Did he even get in the game at all? I'll
have to check the snap shares for sure right now, but he definitely didn't have a carry.
Yeah, it's Kyron Williams' show, but at the same time, too, I think Blake Corum needs to be owned.
He was on the field for 0% snaps. How's that possible?
I don't know.
It says Kyron Williams 91%, Ronnie Rivers 9%, Blake Corum 0. So no, he didn't.
Okay. Well, I still think you got to hold him at least for another week or two, see how this shakes out. You're the Michigan guy. You know, but most about Blake Corum here.
I love him. I love him all day. Hold 24/7. I want to give you credit, though. With Puka being out for at least 4 games now, Demarcus Robinson more valuable this week than he was a week ago. And Mike Virginia right here was touting, guys, Demarcus Robinson, stick with him. And now he's a go-to dude without question.
Yeah. I can't remember who the rookie they have or the second-year player, whatever his name was.
Oh, Tyler Johnson or Jordan Whittington?
No, Johnson. And McVay actually came out and said that he still likes his guys. They have Cooper and they have Demarcus Robinson, and then the third guy. Then he started reeling off guys. So he looks at Demarcus Robinson as a number 2 receiver there in LA.
Here's some Bucks inactives right quick, just posted by Brianna Dix. And this is the only reason I want to point this out. Antoine Winfield out, safety. DB Josh Hayes also out. So weakness in the secondary for Tampa Bay, possibly with injuries, is great news for the Lions' passing offense. Just saying. All right, Cesar's here. What's up with Cesar? What's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you again. You're part of the routine now, Cesar. This is great, man.
He says, hey, guys, in a PPR league, start Charbonnet or Brian Robinson. This is a very interesting one because...
No, it's not.
You think it's all right?
Here's for me. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Robinson all day.
Oh, even in PPR.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say Charbonnet.
Look. Let me tell you real quick. It's very simple. New England defense is for real. This is 2 DCs going head to head. Seattle traveling cross country to New England. New head coach Mike McDonald, who's a DC head coach. New head coach Jared Mayo, DC. This is going to be, I'm locked in on the under on that game. It's a very defensive-oriented game all night long. I don't think Seattle's going to bust out here. I really don't. And I also really like Kenny McIntosh, who's the other backup here. He's out of Georgia, hasn't had much of a chance. So I'm actually taking under on Charbonnet's rushing yards. It's one of the player props I liked. Under 45.5 Charbonnet rushing yards was on DraftKings at... Where was that? It was like plus money. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna jump on that. I kind of like that. I feel like Charbonnet, it was plus 215, under 45.5 rushing yards.
Interesting. All right, yeah. I mean, I guess in PPR formats, the only reason why I was leaning towards Charbonnet is I think he sees more passing work from a PPR perspective. I think Eckler's probably going to get more of the passing work there in New York, but I also love the matchup a lot better in Washington there.
That's what it is too.
Yeah.
The defense. And Robinson was tight with Eckler last week. 56-53 snap share. Was tight. You're right. So that's fair.
But I think Robinson probably has a better shot at scoring a touchdown. I just in PPR formats, I think the safer floor is Charbonnet, but I think the higher ceiling is probably Robinson given the matchup. So
You might be right.
Cesar, flip a coin, man. I think if you're playing the matchup, it really depends on the rest of your lineup here too, because this is something else I want to talk about, Gov, because somebody brought this up to me. If you have a lot of juicy matchups, or let's just say your opponent had maybe Tua, who kind of shit the bed, and you just need a safe floor guy, or you went up against Achan, who went off on you, need like a higher ceiling, that might factor into your decision here and in conjunction with the rest of your lineup that you're building, right? So if you need a safer floor, I would probably go Charbonnet. If you're playing from behind, or you're going up against a guy who has a lot of juicy matchups, go Brian Robinson. That's just my take on it, though.
That's fair. I just think the Giants' offense is ripe, and Robinson can catch the ball in the backfield too, though Eckler is a preferred passing back. I do get that. Oh, dude, look at this guy. This guy's scary. I just want to show this guy. The Negative Magnus Effect. What a name over on Twitter X.
Oh, I love that. I like the profile picture there, too. Is that a Boston hat?
Well, it could be. Either way, I love it, dude. I love your vibe. Make sure you follow us on Twitter if you love Twitter X over there. Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's. Follow Mike Virginia at _ Mike, VAMJ, Govier, etc. etc. Also, Oops has a fun stat on San Francisco, Minnesota. Hasn't lost. Minnesota has not lost to San Francisco at home since 1992.
Might be taking Minnesota money line, baby.
Wow, dude, that you just reinforced me. Now I'm screwed. I got to go all in on that. So.
There you go. All right, let's see here. If you guys got questions, that's what this chat is here for. So
hit me.
Fire away. Caesar says, also in another league, McConkey, Lockett, or Deontay Johnson. I assume this is PPR again, but who are you going with here?
Look, I looked into this morning. So Lockett surprised me last week. He led the team in catches and yards, I believe. And I was like, shit, what? He was like the guy who might not play, of course. But I did look at the snap share. And our boy, JSN, was on the field all day long in that game against the Broncos, okay? So there's something there with Geno where he doesn't see JSN or something. I don't get it, man. There's a disconnect there. Geno loves Lockett and Metcalf, but we need to see him getting the ball to Jackson Smith and Jigba more often, without a doubt. So in this situation, McConkey maybe is the play here. Deontay Johnson could expose some, if there's any life in this Carolina offense. Maybe I don't like Deontay. You don't like Deontay.
Hate him.
I might go McConkey here.
I'm going with Lad McConkey, and it's not close. I think if you're playing for a home run ball like here, like Lockett's like, and he's a little bit longer in the tooth now, and maybe not what he once was, but you pretty much need that long TD for him to have any value there.
Okay.
Lad McConkey in Carolina, he's going to get the volume, he's going to get the targets, he's a safe route for Justin Herbert. The matchup there is just not great for me. I would go Lad McConkey here. I hate Deontay Johnson. I'm going to make that known. Mad Max water.
That's great.
It's fucking massive, man.
Locking you in. That's great. I will survive the apocalypse with Mad Max. I will be okay. You're right.
Can you do me a favor? And I want you just to cut out the water bottle. I kind of want you to like have it like tilted to the side, like down by our little graphic here.
Definitely going to be
maybe he's drinking out of like Eli's mouth, or maybe McVay's drinking it or something. I don't know how you
dumping on his head. Yeah.
That's great. How much did that thing cost, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it was $62 Canadian. Hey, honey, how much was the water bottle? 62 Canadian? Oh, she's gone. Anyways, I think it was like $62 Canadian.
Oh.
Which, so which is like $50. Not too bad. It's not 100. Yeah.
Did they wield that thing out of like out of a missile or something like that?
This is made from vibranium, actually, or unobtainium, whichever one you prefer. It's made of. Okay, there you go. I want to get this one real quick. Oh, lad all day. Fine, go ahead. Anthony wants to know: are the Colts, Govier, you like Colts in the Survivor pool today, dude? Let me talk about this real quick, Mike, because it seems that everybody is pushing to this Malik Willis narrative that LaFleur is such a good coach, and they're going to coach him up. And because it's week 2 and they're a home dog, that the Packers are going to take this game. Anthony Richardson is better than Malik Willis. There's just no doubt about it. But for one game, on one bright, shining moment, Malik Willis is going to ball out, and they're just going to run the ball all day long against this. I guess after what Joe Mixon did in week 1, everyone thinks the Colts D is total shit. So I'm sticking with the Colts. I think the Colts are. I'm going to ride or die with it. I don't love a week 2 road favorite. I hear you, but I feel like if one team's going to go 0-2 here, I just feel like it's the Packers today. But do you see any other reason to change that?
No, I mean, I don't see how you would feel good about anything with Green Bay right now, unless really maybe only Josh Jacobs, because I think the volume will probably be there. But
right,
I don't know, man. Like, there's I don't feel good about anything in Green Bay right now. And I just read a tweet that Jordan Love is returning targeting a return of like week 5 or week 6.
Oh, so thank God.
You're going to have Malik Willis there for a while. And again, we haven't seen much of him, but at the same time too, like, I think the Colts aren't as bad as they showed on defense in week 1. So,
okay.
And here's the thing. If you were the Colts, and again, I'm not an NFL D coordinator, but if you were the Colts, wouldn't you stack the box and make Malik Willis beat you as opposed to Josh Jacobs? That would just be the smart thing, logical thing to think about, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
That makes all the sense in the world to me. One of another player prop I'll give you a special reveal from today's Patreon betting guide, week 2, is Josh Jacobs. Do you like this? 80 rush yards for Josh Jacobs, plus 180.
I like that. I mean, just from what we saw with Joe Mixon, I think he hovers around that anywhere between 80 and 100 yards.
Right, they got to go all lean on him, like you said. So if it's 50, 30 carries.
I was going to say the volume is going to be there for sure. So yeah, I like that bet. I think I have him actually in a player prop, but I think I got it less than 80 if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, well, maybe you think what you're telling now. You just said, if they're going to do something, they got to lean on him heavy. Maybe and what Joe Mixon did was so good. Yeah, it's all about week 1 mirages versus realities. It's such a bozo fest nightmare that you can never understand for sure, and it happens every year. And then week 2 is like, okay, that was a fraud, and that was real, and shit. Why didn't I know that? You can't know these things. You just can't know these things, people.
Nope, you can't. All right,
what else
we
got here?
Moving on here. Rugrat says Corum is handcuffed. Let's not overcomplicate it. By the way, I think I know this is one of my buddies.
Hey, buddy! Trying to steal information. Mike, you better start hiding info.
No, he always likes to bust my ass. He did say he would be showing up on today's show. That I would just have.
He was here last week. Yeah, we hit it off. We're buddies now. So
Joe Chris says Robinson has never broken out. Tyler Johnson gonna blow up. Interesting.
It's not about breaking out though. It's about a consistency. I think in PPR leagues, particular, Demarcus Robinson, consistent. Matthew Stafford, a veteran. I like it. I just like it.
Oops, answering my question here. Sure, AR5's rushing upside is definitely appealing, but I worry about him getting hurt because he gets hit more than an average quarterback because he runs a lot. Well, if that's the case, and just to push back a tad, then you would also probably feel that way about all of the rushing quarterbacks, not just Anthony Richardson. He's only been in the league for not even a year yet. I mean, his playing year, if that makes sense. He's only played in a handful of games, so and I know he got a lot of player comps of Cam Newton when he came out of Florida, and I think that comparison is probably fair. But he's a big-bodied guy, so I think if anything, he probably has less of a risk of getting injured. I would say that's just my personal opinion versus a guy like Lamar, who's very wiry, and he gets hit by one of the guys, kind of like what RG3 got hit when Hello Donata ran into him. Then that's a different story. But yeah, okay, fair. Oops. But again, I think that logic would also have to be applied. I actually want to know who your quarterbacks are in any of your fantasy leagues. Do you shy away from guys who run? That's my next question.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good question. Because Anthony Richardson is, man, he's a badass. He looks like a badass. Although he was lost for the year last year. And don't forget, by the way, I believe it was week 2, maybe it was week 3, when Anthony Richardson went down to Houston and kicked the Texans' ass.
Mm-hmm.
He did. That happened.
He almost did that on last Sunday.
Exactly.
Yep. But Chad says, I wouldn't touch Charbonnet. We have usage with KW3 injured, and it's not pretty. There you go. So
okay.
Chad's right there with you.
Chad, you're my boy this week, my man. My boy Jimmy's here. Jimmy says, I have the Packers plus 3.5 today. Jimmy, my man in Delaware, our main man in Delaware. How you doing, brother? Just want to shout you out. You're a good American. We all love you. And
this right here. Make sure you guys hit the like button.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching. Hit the thumbs up.
If you're here right now on the YouTube, like the YouTube, please, or retweet the video. If you're watching on Twitter, just retweet it real quick. We should start saying that too. We never say that.
Yeah.
The YouTube's where we really want to grow, though. Just so everybody knows. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Got to leave at 12 to support Britain. For those of you guys still playing fantasy baseball, and I'm moving on to the semifinals in one of my leagues, one of my only leagues that I'm getting into.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah. So make sure you guys check that out. We still might be running over a little bit past 12, but Britain will be on at 12 for the weekly Sunday show. Britain, have a good show, man, if you're watching. All right, let's get through a couple of these real quick here. Joe Chris says the Pats are going to beat Seattle today. Ooh, I
Flat
love
out.
that.
Flat out.
We'll see how Ramondre does today.
Well, okay, so it might be a tall order. I love Ramondre all year. That's a season-long fantasy love fest, me and Ramondre, my guy. When he first came to the NFL, I was like, why is all this hype here? And he didn't really live up to it year one, but then year two was like, oh, I see the talent. Then last year was shit. This is the year it all comes together. Mwah. But
there you go.
Seattle's tough. Mike McDonald, he don't play.
That's right. Rugrat says maybe JSN just isn't good. Classic wide receiver for Ohio State who flames out in the pros.
I hate the Buckeyes. I hate the Buckeyes, but I'm defending this guy. This guy is I saw what that guy did in that Utah Rose Bowl, and I've seen what he did against Michigan. He's destroyed teams, and he's a great route runner, man. I'm surprised. I think Geno's to blame here. Now, I'm going to blame maybe Pete Carroll last year, but as this season develops, if JSN doesn't get on track, I'm blaming Geno.
Do you think it would take maybe a Lockett getting hurt or Metcalf getting hurt or one of the other guys in front of him? Do you think it would take one of those guys getting hurt for him to have value, or do you think he still does?
No,
guys both help?
Because the snap share thing last week is very clear. Yeah. Last week on the field against Denver, JSN was on the field all day long. He was on 89% of the snaps. Lockett only played 56% of the snaps. So he just did way more because Geno targeted him. You know what I mean? It was 79 for JSN, 54 for Lockett. Yeah. So
there you go. We'll see how today shakes out. Maybe JSN breaks out today against the Pats.
It's a tough matchup, though, too, to have that happen, though. That's why this week might not be the best time. Maybe it's another week.
Yeah. Joe says Houston and Chargers are my survival picks today. I don't know who I have in my survivor pool today.
Yeah, I can't see. This is what happened again. I told you I was over in America trying to get all my shit done before I came back here, and I forgot to lock in my survivor picks, and now I can't do it. So whatever I picked on just to get it set on Thursday, I'm stuck with now. So welcome to hell. I probably got Washington or I don't know, Tampa Bay or some shit. The Chargers have Harbaugh. They're going across. How does the Food Poison Cooking Channel get more likes? These guys are cooking with hot takes. That's right.
Let's go. If you guys are listening,
we couldn't do diddly poo.
That's us.
Well, yeah. If you guys are listening on Twitter, just switch over to. Here's the thing: retweet this so everybody else can see. But number two, head over to YouTube really quick, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and just hit the thumbs up. It literally takes 2 seconds, and we'll answer any freaking question that you have. I promise you. This is the number one show to get your questions answered. All the other big shows, your question just gets lost in the muddle of everybody else's. So your question will get answered here, guaranteed. Lock that in.
You type it and it's gone. That's what happens on those chats. Here, we go back in time too, in case we miss any questions, because we care about you.
That's right. Greg Dortch is not better than Marvin Harrison. Yeah, that's a good one here, Go, because we didn't talk about that on Tuesday's show, I don't think. How do you feel about Marvin Harrison moving forward? And there's been a lot of buzz with him wanting the ball, and Kyler saying that's not my job, and how slow he ran during routes.
That's a good workout. I did that one-handed. I mean, that's a good. What am I hitting the delts up here? What am I getting?
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you feel about Marvin Harrison Jr.? Do you like him to bounce back? And are you worried as a owner of Marvin Harrison? Because you probably spot a top 2 round pick on him.
Well, did you hear what Kyler said this week?
Well, that it wasn't his job to feed him targets. Yeah,
sounds like just some. I bet they both set it up. Hey, dude, I'm just gonna go up here and say some dumb shit, man. I'll throw you the ball all day long because if you're Marvin Harrison Jr., you're really good.
That would not surprise me. That'd be actually funny as fuck. But
Kyler loves a troll. But technically, as a talent, yes, Greg Dortch is not more talented than Marvin Harrison, but he has more experience. Might be a better route runner, maybe. So it's not about talent, man. Okay, Anthony, you've been around a long time. You know it's not always about talent. The older you get, the more you realize when people grow up and they're like, oh, why didn't that happen? Or why didn't I do what I wanted to do in life? Right, Mike? It's not about talent so much. There's also drive and desire and variables like, hey, I might have choose a family over like this thing I'm going to do instead. There's a lot of things that come into play. So this week, Arizona against the Rams, great matchup. The over-under is already at 48, I believe. So they're expecting a lot of points. And this should be the week where Harrison scores his first NFL touchdown.
Hey, ready for this one?
Yeah.
Another Buckeye wide receiver stronger. Oh, Rod.
Fuck the Buckeyes. I don't like them. And we kicked their ass 3 straight years for all time now. So eat shit and die. And you can't say anything because you haven't won in almost 4 years now, even though you kicked their ass for like 20 years.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm saying I graduated there at least. So I'm not on the team, but I am an alum, okay? So don't give me no Walmart Wolverine shit, all right?
Here's another one for you. Just came out. Marshawn Lattimore hamstring inactive today versus the Cowboys. So guys like CeeDee Lamb about to go nuclear today on the Saints. I also have CeeDee Lamb in a lot of my anytime touchdown and receiving props as well. Oh, you're shaking your head. You don't like this matchup for CD?
I feel like the only reason I'm saying this, Mike, you're probably right, but I stay away from all the CD props just because I feel like everyone's on it and everyone's expecting him. And he'll probably do good things still. I'm not saying that's not possible.
Yeah.
But actually, I wanted to say, not to pivot. I'm not trying to do a fresh take and, do my best impression of Stephen A. versus the highest scumbag of scumbags, Mr. Skip Bayless.
Oh, my God. Worse.
Who has his own show now, so he can finally speak freely after all these years. He was really, poor Skip. Anyways, I just think that Zeke Elliott is actually... He's in a good spot here. He's not done. He was serviceable last year in New England. So I'm not saying we're talking, 120 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns every week, but I'm saying a rushing touchdown here, 60, 70 yards there. It's a solid RB3 or 4 to have for sure. I just think Zeke has more here to give, and it's a good fit, and they need him. And I'm just throwing that out there. I am. That's all. But, CD's a god, dude. So you're right. There's no reason to be like, dude, CD doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, it's all about Zeke and then setting up that run so CD can fly down the field and score 80-yard touchdowns. There's no doubt about it. But I like Zeke today. 50-plus rushing yards for Zeke. 50-plus. Plus 140. Doesn't seem like... It seems like that's doable.
Yeah, it might be worth a sprinkle. Anthony says, as long as we don't get an MJ Govier video like Shannon Sharp, we are all okay.
There's a whole thing there we could do for like an hour, but we're just going to leave that over here. But it is funny. So.
Yeah, go look at Twitter if you didn't see.
Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, Chad. We'll get to that in a second. Sonny Mac Apple. I don't think I've seen you around here, man.
Wait.
YouTube channel. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude, go over to the YouTube and just like and subscribe real quick. But do you like Sony or Mac Apple? Which one do you like? I don't get it. Let us know.
I don't know. Yeah.
You like all 3 or both? That's fine.
I have all 3 products in my house, if that matters for anything. I have a Sony
You're
TV.
Right. These are Sony noise-canceling headphones, which whistle when I turn the noise-canceling on now, so they kind of suck. But they're 4 years old, and I got a Mac right here. So I'm with you. You're right, Sony. Mac, never mind.
He wants to know, London or Marvin Harrison Jr. half-point PPR? This is an interesting one. What do you think about this one, Goof?
This is fun. Monday night, Atlanta at Philly. So we get to see Philly at a real home stadium. And is Atlanta got some offense? Is Kirk Cousins, who we always love to shit on him for primetime. So it's a primetime game once again. We've heard that a billion times. I like Drake London. I really do. I think the situation is a little bit more ripe for MHJ. I do. I'd like to see Kirk Cousins and London get on the same page a little bit more first. So I'm going to go Harrison Jr. by a nose here.
Yeah, I'm going to go him as well. I think they are tied for the second highest over-under total today in the Cardinals and Rams game. I don't know what the over-under there in Monday night is. I need to see it from Kirk Cousins as well. In Philly is going to be a tough place to play in prime time, and we all know how Kirk does in prime time as well. Not the best coming off of that Achilles. Ray McLeod saw fucking 7 targets last week, which is mind fucking me to the utmost. When again, it's like the fantasy gods are just shitting on us all the time with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. It's just like, you know what? These guys actually suck, and we like Ray McLeod better. So, yeah.
You know what? You suck.
Here. Yeah. I know it's tough, too. This is a tough one because they both had kind of poo-poo performances in week 1, especially Marvin Harrison Jr.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Yeah, he couldn't do diddly poo last week. He only had 1 catch for 4 yards, and he was left wide open down the field. I don't know if you saw that one. I did. Give me the ball. Yeah. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. here at home, but it's close.
Okay. Thanks, Sony. Good to have you here, man. Let's party.
Yep.
Crying
All right.
Jordan meme too. We didn't mention that was his avatar.
That's right. I have a question for you. I have one I'm going to put in here in live chat. I'm interested to hear your take as well. I play in a non-PPR league in my home league. Rugrat is in my league. I'm pretty sure I know who this is. But anyways, I want to know flex option. Same guys that we talked about, two of the guys we talked about last week of Kyle Pitts, Gus Edwards, or Demarcus Robinson.
Standard league scoring. For those that are new to the show, that's Mike's home league. Yep. He's an old school guy in that respect. He's got a forward-thinking mind, but when it comes to his fantasy football, he likes his steak and potatoes.
That's right. Like, love me a standard league, baby. That's the only one I play in, by the way. Every other, I'm in 5 leagues. All 4 other leagues are half point or full point PPR.
Don't be that guy.
I'm that guy, baby.
He's that guy. I think that I actually like Gus Edwards this week. I didn't like him last week. I told you that. But since J.K. Dobbins got such a load last week, are we really? This guy. There's just no way I could expect that Dobbins, if he's going to be doing loads like that week to week, he's screwed. He'll be done. I don't believe that he can stand up, and that's why they have Edwards and Dobbins. So I like Edwards. I actually had over 11.5 carries for Edwards this week as one of my player props. So
I like that.
I like Edwards. Pitts against Philly's D, which could be fun, is interesting too, though. That's tough.
Someone brought up a good point to me because I asked somebody else this too, that Philly, I believe, over the past 2 years has given up like 30-something touchdowns to tight ends, which is crazy. So they give up a lot of touchdowns. I just don't know if I like the matchup in Philly. And Chad is here saying that Pitts, and it's not even a discussion, Pitts has the clearest path. The reason why I do have Gus Edwards into my lineup right now, and the reason why I like it is because I do think you brought up a very solid point, right? Is everyone's going to be, and rightfully so. He had a great game last week, J.K. Dobbins, but we all know the injury concerns with Dobbins. So everyone that thinks that J.K. Dobbins is going to get like 15 to 20 carries and like Gus is going to see like 4 to 5, I don't think that's going to be the case because, and Oops is actually saying it here, he only had 10 carries, so a lot of that was off those 2 big chunks.
Holy shit, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I think Gus is probably the healthier back of the two. Anytime you have the knee injury and the Achilles, we saw it with James Robinson. Remember him with Jacksonville?
Yeah, sure.
And he had that great like week 1, 2, or 3, and then he fizzled out, and then Travis Etienne came on board. So, anyways,
carries.
Long story short, I think Gus Edwards still sees double-digit carries today, along with Dobbins. I think their approach is going to be very similar to how it was in week 1. So Carolina obviously got lit up by New Orleans last week. They are at home in Carolina. So I'm leaning towards Gus Edwards in a standard league. I think he probably has the safer floor to score a touchdown. But that's
I know there was only 10 carries for Dobbins, but the snaps were 58 to 42 compared to Gus Edwards, which means, they had him on the field a fair amount more, which they need to think about. So, yeah, Chad's right. Chad's probably right, too.
Yeah. Joe says by week 5, Gus and Dobbins will be hurt and Vidal will be the league winner. It's actually worth noting, and again, it's probably because both these guys are healthy. Vidal is a healthy scratch today, so he's not even playing.
That's the second straight week, I believe.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Some other breaking news real quick, and we'll get in some of these other ones here really quick. Josh Downs is inactive today versus the Packers, so make sure you guys get him out of your lineup. Yeah. He was a true 50-50 shot to play. He's out. Marcus Davenport for you and your Lions there we go. He is inactive today for the Lions.
Can't do it.
Bye-bye, Marcus.
Yep. Jordan Addison leads Minnesota
out.
Inactive today, so make sure you guys get him out of your lineup. Jameson Williams is a go. So make sure you guys get him if you're planning on starting him.
Genius.
That's really it. So
I wanted to hit on a quick point here. First off, Pete says we're great show, best fan interaction. Pete, you're always there for us. Thank you, brother. We appreciate that. And then Jimmy was saying, is there a big difference between +3.5 or +4 when it comes to betting?
Or not so much. I always say, if you can, this is one of the things I don't like about DraftKings. Is to buy the hook, and you can't do that. What I mean by buy the hook is you usually buy down, right? So like if you had a spread at -3.5, you would buy the extra point and get it down to 3, right? So that way
you can't do that.
Not in DraftKings, no.
That must be a state thing because we could totally do that in Michigan.
Yeah, I can't do that in mine. You can't buy the point down.
Yeah, you can do alt lines all day. So
you do that in DraftKings with yours?
I absolutely do. 100%. In fact, I'll give you a story. Last night, I literally did it. I changed the alt line. I actually sold points for Georgia against Kentucky, and I won a healthy plus bet on that because Georgia barely beat Kentucky.
I had Kentucky plus 22.5. I was happy about that. Yeah! And I did the little bet boost because DraftKings gave you like the extra, like once you bet on the Georgia Kentucky game, they gave you a little better odds.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was happy about that. But
Good
I
man.
have the app up right now, and really quickly.
Sure.
If I took the Giants plus 1.5, like where do I go to? I'm in my bet sheet on the app. Where do you go to buy it? Because there's nowhere on here for me to do it.
Well, usually when I'm looking on the game lines, where it says game lines, I go in there, and then it allows you to rotate between going forward or backwards on the line. The odds change, so that has been an option for me. But maybe each state's weird. Maybe they do limit certain things depending on who's doing what. So
you can't do player props either for college football.
See, exactly. See, Virginia's being uptight. They got to open it up a bit. I mean, like right here, it's hard to see, but so there's like there's a thing here. You can move that. Yeah, you don't have that. You're getting screwed, dude. You're getting screwed.
Stupid DraftKings, get your fucking shit together.
Come on, Virginia. It's probably your state. I'm going to blame them. Rugrat here. He's talking about Curtis Samuel, Paris Campbell, Terry McLaurin, Gary Wilson.
He's bringing up all the Ohio State guys.
Oh my God! Go away.
Overrated wide receiver.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, wait.
That is fair.
This is Chad saying bench Jerome Ford and probably the wide receivers too. Browns are down to their third and fourth string tackles. I'm not benching Ford. I'm playing him, man. He's great for PPR. So dump in PPR to Ford all night long. I'm not bailing on Jerome Ford this week. That's my opinion.
And I have Amari Cooper too, so I'm not dumping him out either. I could swap him out for Demarcus Robinson, but I'd give me Cooper here. I think the Browns bounce back this week, actually, even with them being down, both of their some guys on the offensive line. Deshaun Watson can't be this bad, right?
I actually agree with that. I hate to do it because the guy's a fucking scumbag of the highest order with no doubts.
We're gonna get all in your face and point out your faults.
Yeah, fuck you, Deshaun Watson. You're a piece of shit who's been bubbled in. You're bubble wrapped by society and your greed and money in this fucked up country we live in. That's the only reason you get to play football right now. You should be in jail. And I don't say that lightly unless I really felt good about it. And I feel good about that one. Anyways, this is a situation where remember Deshaun last year? Like, you remember this game. Do you remember that game against Baltimore where he led the comeback? It was like 39-37.
Yep.
He was still
remember that.
When he's totally down, it's not over yet. And I hate the guy, but I got to be honest about that. That is my take. I'm not proud of it, and I'm ashamed of it.
Can't do it.
What about this one, Schoonmaker or Parkinson? This is a tight end decision. I love Schoonmaker replacing Jake Ferguson this week in Dallas.
This is a tough one.
It is.
Give me Schoonmaker here just because I think that a lot of the volume. This is the thing, too. I know a lot of people are high on Parkinson going into the season because Higbee was out. But for me, Parkinson's probably going to have to fight. He's probably fourth in that pecking order but with all the receivers there. So Schoonmaker for me, I think has a safer floor at scoring the touchdown today. So give me Schoonmaker.
See, this is why me and Rugrat are tight. Go blue. That's right. Go blue. That's why.
I believe he also. I also believe he has a bet that has really in the beginning of the season that had Donovan Edwards winning the Heisman Trophy this year.
How about that one? Even Rugrat will admit that one's fucked. So. Yeah. Oh, this is a fun one. This is my guy.
Cooper or Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah. This is a tough one for me too.
Same game.
Yeah. I don't know, to be honest. Like, I know a lot of people are high on Brian Thomas. He caught that great touchdown pass, which he was led perfectly by Trevor Lawrence. I think he's the wide receiver one there in Jacksonville. But so is Cooper over on the other side of the ball there with Cleveland. Is it PPR or non-PPR?
That's a good question. Oops, PPR? That'll matter a little bit. You know, Cooper can rack up the catches and the yards. But Brian Thomas is a silver position. He can rack up yards and catches. And they got Christian Kirk. Gabe Davis actually had the most snaps last week. Gabe Davis is a focus for them. They signed him as a free agent. They want him to do things. And Lawrence looked to Gabe Davis, who everybody just dismissed this year.
He said PPR. Give me Cooper here. I'm doubling down on my bet here. I think Cooper has a nice bounce back week. I think the Browns in general have a bounce back week.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
he's
and I
right.
think-
This is real. Ingram's out now. Shit, what?
What happened to
Damn
Ingram?
it. He's out. Anthony's correct. Way to go, Anthony. Everett Ingram out after suffering pre-game injury. According to ESPN's Michael Duraco reports Everett Ingram suffered a hammy injury during warm-ups and is now out.
Oof.
Wow.
That's
a live update.
Can't do
I
it.
have him in a player prop. Does DraftKings refund you back on that if they don't even play?
Not in Virginia.
You know what? You're probably fucking right.
Wow, dude.
I
Yeah,
hope they should. Yeah, they should avoid that.
Okay.
Yeah, but they do love to. They
Well,
can be
clearly,
cool.
they do like to bend me over there, since I can't find the I can't buy it. So
The Daniel Jones of the South. What, Trevor Lawrence? Is that what you're saying? Oh boy. All right.
maybe he was talking about Tua.
I got to focus on my stuff now because we're inside an hour. Any final thoughts here, Mike? Any stuff you want to get in the record here before we hit the road on this week 2 pregame start sits? Evan Ingram, the big bomb of the show. Wow.
Real quick, because I wanted to bring this up. One of my preseason guys that I liked, and I drafted him almost everywhere, 4 out of 5 leagues. Keon Coleman with 1 target, 0 catches, 0 yards in Thursday Night Football. Are we holding or folding on Keon Coleman?
No, come on. You had a nice target share in week 1, and week 2 is a weird game where it was just we love James Cook. That was awesome. Hopefully, I mean, I stole him from you in the Palazzo League, so I'm very happy about that.
You did.
But yes, I would say hold Keon, calm down. Let's see how it goes. But it definitely looks like what we saw in the later part of 2023 with the Buffalo Bills offense about run. We're looking at a new offense now. It's a new day. And Josh Allen, he doesn't need to have all the rushing touchdowns. He had a couple in week 1, but none in week 2. So I'm going to say hold the phone on this.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't read into a week where Josh Allen doesn't crack 10 fantasy points. Yeah, that's crazy. James Cook for me, which I'm going to go back to last year when I called this as well. James Cook looks to be a steal this year because not only I think he has a safe floor both with the rushing ability and the passing ability, and the passing work he gets. The dude's just a stud. So if you own James Cook, you're feeling pretty good. And I'm not just saying that because it's week 2 and he balled out. Like, he balled out last year too, and I think he's only going to get better this year. So
I'm more confident it might be a top 3 running back this season for real.
In PPR formats, absolutely, yeah. And damn you for stealing him from me in the Palazzo League.
I got James Cook like 5 times. I'm happy about that. Got him in, I think, the Scott Fishbowl. So cool for me, for all you Scott Fishbowl fans. I'm the James Cook guy in my league. So 2 on that. Wow, this is fun. I love football. I love talking football with you. This is great. Hopefully you guys got some info that was useful. I like, real quickly here, final analysis. I like unders in the Tennessee Jets game. I think that's going to be a defensive slugfest. I really do. And I feel the same way about Seattle, New England. I think the Giants and Washington could be the highest scoring game of the 1 o'clock slate. I really do.
Ooh.
And I also like the Baltimore Las Vegas over. I feel like, Baltimore, people expect, you do like that. Okay, great. It's only at 41. That's not a huge number to overcome with Baltimore's offense. And I actually think the Raiders are a little sleepy this week offensively with Minshew, Devontae Adams, and everybody in the mix there. Bowers looked good in week 1. I think there's some points to be scored there. I do.
Yeah, I don't think Las Vegas is as bad as they showed last week either. And just got breaking news here too. AJ Brown is officially out for tomorrow with a hamstring. I believe you have him in the Palazzo League as well, right?
Yeah, the only league I drafted him of any league is the Palazzo League. So yes, I will have to live with that, but that's okay. I'll maneuver over to Christian Watson. Oh shit, I can't do that. Malik Willis.
Start
George Pickens. George Pickens. Mike Virginia. I'm going to have to go with George Pickens instead of AJ Brown. So that's how it's going to go.
Good deal. Well, Govier, listen to me really quick. I wish you the best of luck today in your fantasy leagues.
You too.
Yeah, and hopefully we come out with some wins. Hopefully we have some juicy shit to talk about on Tuesday's show. For those of you guys who are still playing fantasy baseball, make sure you guys tune over to Britton, who's doing the fabulous waiver wire show. For those of you guys who are still in it, hopefully you guys can get your questions answered over there as well for the fantasy baseball side.
That show's on the air right now, actually. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. Govier and I will be back on Tuesday, talk about week 2, get you ready for the week 3 waiver wire aspects of it too. And
this always happens on the show.
Always does. Yep. I was just getting ready to say it. Always does.
Go ahead. All right. All in one show. What do we got here?
Trade Chase for Olave, Bijan, and Pickens. Ooh, this is a juicy one. What are you doing here?
Ooh, that is fun.
I'm taking the Bijan side for sure. Bijan and Chase were both first-round draft picks, and I get Olave, and I get George Pickens. It depends on also who you have to drop if you're acquiring those guys too, right? Like, that's a big factor here.
Well, he
gives his team Richardson, Jacobs, Pacheco, Chase, Waddle, Kelsey. How many teams are in this league?
I'm not even questioning it, dude. I'm doing this trade in a heartbeat. I'm trading Chase.
Yeah.
I get Olave, who I don't think is that far off from Chase. Plus, you get Bijan and Pickens, and it's a no-brainer. No-brainer.
Hammer accept,
Do it.
buddy. Hammer accept.
Yes. Do it now. Do it now.
Do
What
it
are you
now.
waiting for? Come on. Go Tigers. All right, we're out of here. That's it. Thanks for that last question. We love that last final question. It always gets snuck in the show. We wish everybody the best this week or week 2 NFL fantasy football. You're betting all your DFS dreams come true. Mike Virginia at _Mike VA. I'm at MJ Govier. Palazzo Podcast 2 L's 2 Z's.
Utah, give me 2.
Everybody, make it happen. Okay? Hucket chucket football now.
Fucking Roethlisberger, the quarterback, was all fucking hug it,